Hi there, and welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show. Here we have candid conversations about what's necessary to take our lives to the next level, take our skill set to the next level, our families, our business, just to rise, to elevate. I love reading your comments. I love seeing your engagement. I love seeing you type in BOL, breakthrough out loud, for all you newbies. I didn't realize that, Lisa, BOL, aha. Or I love seeing you say, hey, I had that same scenario happen in my life. Or you caused me to think about this. I love when you write Yana, Y-A-N-A, you are not alone, to another community member. Man, I just love the shares. I share a lot of tips with you on how to speak. For years, I didn't realize that my unconscious superpower was the ability to engage an audience, to be impactful, to stir a soul, to create an experience that in many cases became unforgettable for so many. I didn't know that my speaking was unforgettable until years later when someone would come to me and say, I saw you 5 years ago and you changed everything. And I go, really? And after hearing that so many times, from people who are in Kazakhstan and Kiev and Swaziland and South Africa and Taipei, like all over the world, I realized, okay, there's something to this. One thing we don't talk about very often that's essential to your success is your mindset. So many people today want to speak and speak powerfully, whether you're a leader in a corporation, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a student, whether you're deciding what you want to do next, you're an artist, you want to have a powerful voice. And yet, so many people don't realize that it's the mindset, not the technique, that comes first. So today, I'm sharing with you some of the mindset shifts that you have. I want to invite you to consider making, if necessary, to speak more powerfully and more impactfully. Now, no matter where you are on the speaking scale, mindset at each level becomes a necessary thing to address. Some of the same mindset challenges I had when I was launching my business in 1997, I hit those same mindset challenges in 2008 when The Secret had come out, when I was on Oprah. Then I hit the same mindset challenges and needed the same mindset shifts in 2018 when my company was 5 times larger. So I see this on my campus so often. People often assume that they need to get another coach to speak more powerfully. Well, in some cases, that might be the case. They need to join another community. That might be the case in some cases. Or learn another skill set, a new skill set. Well, actually, sometimes it's a mindset shift. They need to make a needlepoint move in their thinking, working on their mindset. You can stay in the same community. You can have the same coach. You can do the same things, but with a different mindset, it produces a different outcome. Have you stopped to think about the fact that everything we do, everything we physically do, starts first in our mind? The opportunity to examine your mind and steering how you decide the direction that you want to go in or not. That's something that we don't spend enough time thinking about, that we should actually go, hold on, let me think about my mindset. So I want to share with you the 3 mindset shifts that you have an opportunity to make that will have a powerful impact on your speaking. The way you speak, the way you touch people. And when I say the way you speak, I want you to understand not the way you speak like it's a performance, but the way you speak in that the way it impacts the listener. You want to speak for impact, not to impress. Speak to inspire, not to impress. So if you want to inspire people and have a powerful impact on people, let me invite you into 3 things that you can look at for mindset. Number 1, understand and get comfortable with transparency. Most people speak as an expert. This is what I know and this is what I've decided. And while that's important, I'm an expert by some people's indicators. And so I must own the body of information that I know about. However, people don't necessarily care what you know as an expert and where you are now. The larger part of your audience really wants to know about what you did back then. They're not where you are now. They're where you were. Often we want to look so together and on top of things that we let ourselves off the hook from sharing the journey from the early days. People want to know not what does it feel like to stand on your mountaintop as an expert. They want to know, how did you climb? See, your journey is juicy, not your arrival. Your journey creates the connection with your audience. I look back and I look when I was on Oprah, and when I was on Larry King, and when I was on Steve Harvey, and when I was on the Today Show, and I studied those because I was like, what happened? Why did they go so viral? Why did 47 million people view this video in 72 hours? Why did 9,782 people sign up on my database in 3 days back in 2008 when I was on Oprah? And my name wasn't even out there anywhere. How did that happen? I was fascinated with it. Every single time on each one of those national platforms, and even on the local platforms that I just shared with you, it was because of the journey, not the arrival. They didn't care that I had a book that sold for $1 million. They didn't care that I was in The Secret. They didn't care about the arrival. They cared about the $11.42 in my bank account. They cared about the being in the mirror and reminding myself that I'm good enough and that I can turn my crawl into a walk. They cared about me wrapping Jelani in a towel for 2 days and then committing that I'll never be this broken again. They cared about me at 224 pounds fighting to get my life back and saying enough is enough. They cared about the journey. So get comfortable with being transparent. It doesn't mean your audience is a dump zone. Don't get on camera or don't get in front of audience and just dump. Take them somewhere high, but let them go through the journey with you. Transparency is powerful. Number 2, lean into what could feel like a breakdown so that you can help celebrate your breakthrough. Now, so many people hate the word breakdown. Like, I don't like the word breakdown. I didn't like the word breakdown. I remember when my coach first introduced the word breakdown to me, I'm like, hello, no, we will not be discussing my breakdown right here in front of people. No matter how far advanced you are in your journey, there will always be things that you get to work through. Instead of ignoring them, pushing them aside, I want you to invite yourself to lean into what we can call a breakdown, which really is a learning curve, which really is a blind spot. Most breakdowns occur in your blind spot. Invite in that. Where's my blind spot? Where am I not seeing? So for so many years, I loved to serve people, but my blind spot was my profit margin. Hashtag had none. I'm serving everybody, but I couldn't grow my business. I can just hustle my business. How many times, raise your hand, type in chat, comment if you know that you're not working a business, you're working a hustle. Meaning you can't stop, you won't stop, you don't get to stop because you're not making enough money on each deal to grow your business. Or in relationship, I didn't realize my breakdown was I knew how to give, but I didn't know how to receive. I'll never forget a woman at an event wanting to pour into me. And I was like, no, I'm here to serve you. And she stopped and looked me in my eyes. And she was like a black older woman. So she had this like auntie, grandma kind of look. And she said, excuse me, but what makes you think you're the only one that has the right to give? Please don't block my blessings. I was like, okay. And I realized that my giving muscle was developed. My receiving muscle was an atrophy. And so leaning into the breakdowns is synonymous with leaning into the blind spot. Don't ignore it. Invite yourself to look at it. You're grown. Grown folks business. Grown folks life navigation. Grown folks, real grown folks, emotionally mature grown folks, they lean into the breakdown. Because if you lean into the breakdown long enough, the breakdown leads to a breakthrough. And the third thing I'd like to invite you to do is I'd like to invite you to address any negative self-talk that's occupying space in your mind. And when you address it, when you look at it, when you expose the negative self-talk, the very next thing you get to do is evict it. You have taken up residence in my head long enough. Pack your bags and go. Now, I wish it were that easy. I wish you can do it just like that, but let me tell you the first step. The first step is to address it. The first step is to expose it. So I do a lot of breakthrough trainings. I'm not sure if you know that. Most people think I'm a motivational speaker, but I am a transformational facilitator. That's what I do. That's my jam. That's what I love doing. And many times, the very first thing in my 2-day or my 3-day or my 5-day trainings is I do an exercise called negative self-talk. Because if I can help you expose that chatter and bring to the light what's in the dark, see, in the dark, it has more power. In your head, it has more power. But when you pull it out and you put it in the universe, it literally is like nothing compared to all the things around you. But in your head, it's massive. The conversations you have in your head are producing your reality. Hello, ouch. Lisa, stop poking me. Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to poke and prod anything that's not celebrating your greatness. And the negative self-talk that's living and residing in your head, it is not celebrating your greatness, nor is it helping you build that breathtaking future. So what can you do? You cannot outrun you. Ooh, you will never outrun you. Everywhere you go, there you are. So stop and say, okay, let me expose you. What are you saying? I'm not good enough. You're not good enough. People are going to laugh at you. You'll fail, and then people will judge you. You're going to let the people down around you. There are people smarter than you wanting to do the same thing you're doing, so there's no reason why you should try it. You're not pretty enough. You're too old now. I don't know if this is your chapter, but I know everything I just said has been mine. What's the tone? Understand what's going on in your head. Is it struggle? Is it negativity? Are you looking for peace in your mind? Your mindset can keep you stuck. Your mindset can keep you inside a grind that you don't even want to be in. Your mindset is also the same mindset that can shift everything. Your mindset is the same mindset that can release and set you free. The same mindset that can that's navigated you into restriction and fear is the same mindset that can navigate you out to freedom and flow. It's just a matter of being mindful of it. So being willing to ask yourself, what does my mindset have to do with where I am? What does my mindset have to do with where I'm going? Is it in alignment with where I'm going, or do I need to overcome some belief systems? If so, let's do that work. Ask yourself, what part of my mindset is optional? And what in my mindset is not an option, non-negotiable? Have you ever said something like, I want to lose weight, but I still want to eat my dessert? I want to leave my day job or start my business, but I don't want to take the risk. If you ever said what you want before, and it was followed by a but, then you just made that thing optional. So I want to invite you to understand, is my mindset thinking optional, or is my mindset thinking non-negotiable? Because when your mindset is thinking non-negotiable, you move to no matter what. Meaning you're willing to risk it all to gain it all. So to summarize, here are 3 of my mindset shifts in becoming a more impactful speaker, leader, parent, entrepreneur. 1, get comfortable with transparency. 2, lean into the breakdown to have your breakthrough. And 3, address negative self-talk. Now, I want to leave you with an affirmation that I believe will work so powerfully for you. At least it works powerfully for me. Ready? I will release my negative self-talk, and I will stand in my power. I will play big and say yes, yes, no matter what. I love the no matter what part because it allows life to happen. I want you to stand up and say it with me. I will release my negative self-talk. I will stand in my power. I will play big and say yes, yes, no matter what. I want you to replay this and write that mantra down. I want you to stick it on your window. I want you to stick it on your mirror. I want you to just chant it. Stick it on your refrigerator. Just chant it here and there. I promise you, when you feed your mind a new meal, your mind will feed you a new reality. This show is not just a monologue. I hope you can figure that out by now. I hope you figured that out by now. This show is a dialogue. I truly care about you winning. I want you to win. You should win. It's your birthright to win big. Win in love, win in business, win in finances, win in health, win in spirituality. You deserve to win. I'd love to hear from you. What was the biggest aha from this particular episode for you? What did you need to hear? What was a great reminder or a new BOL, breakthrough out loud? What's a Yana, Lisa? I've been there before. Or another community member saying something and you can Yana with them. Leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe because this is family, and look out for more great content in the future because you decide what I talk about. You tell me what you want to hear and I'm here to serve it to you. After all, this is your home and we are your tribe. And I am. I'm not your biological sister, but I'm your spiritual sister in prosperity and in possibility. And when I tell you that I believe in you, it's because I wanted someone to remind me that they believed in me. And when I tell you that I love you, it's because you never can hear I love you too many times. And because I do. Agape love from me to you, always. I'll see you soon.